right, so the NFL draft is coming up, and you know, basically, we're just going to get straight to the point of quarterbacks. Now, the quarterbacks are always the hot topic, always the main discussion, mainly of every draft for at least like the last 10, 15 years. And I was like, it's not that, and I was like, it's just been more rampant the last eight about quarterback, a rookie contract. If you don't have one, you can't do nothing in this league. Blah 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 blah. The same old story, which gets us to the point where people over evaluate or overdraft or hype up or push up or they do too much with these quarterbacks. Because once again, we're in a year where we could have a possible six taken in the first round. After just 2 years ago, 3 years ago, we had a similar one where we took five in the first round, and all of them, I was like, well, Trevor Lawrence is. I was like, we're gonna see how he bounced back this year. I was like, he had an okay season last year after he had a really good one the year before. Uh, Mac Jones, he's down there with behind Trevor Lawrence. He looked like he's sort of done of being the starter again. Zach Wilson, same boat. Trey Lance, same boat. Justin Fields got a chance with Pittsburgh, and we'll see how that goes. Either way, Neil, I was like 4 to 5. You could say that this might be it. So it's weird that we're back here again and in a situation where people are like, okay, but screw that. We're going to try something different. What's that? 6. What? That's crazy. I know it beats 5, right? Look, I was like, Caleb Williams, Drake May, Jaden Daniel, JJ McCarthy, Bo Nix, and Michael Penix Jr. are the people that they're talking about in this spot. Now, that means that 4 of these are going to probably at least stink. Just because I was like, to me, I was like, there's a better chance of whoever probably gets drafted at the end of the first round than most likely at the top. But it's crazy to me the amount that people are still willing to go to drafting quarterbacks in a way that makes it be like, okay, well, why are, like, JJ McCarthy going from like mid first round pick to nearly almost number 2 is wild to me. I think it's wild in general that he's sort of in the first round talks, but I was like, to go all the way up there, to me, he getting a weird benefit of the doubt of doing nothing and boosting the hell out of his stock. Never once seen somebody that's like, oh, you didn't do nothing really on the title team. You don't have anything that's jumping out as far as like one of those crazy part of talent things. And yet, he up there. That's wild to me. Bo Nix, where I'm like, I mean, yes, you being older doesn't, shouldn't turn people away, but I was like, he been playing for a crazy hell long time. My opinion, Junior, I was like, I think it's just really the injuries. But in saying that, I'm just like, if y'all still sort of did the draft regular, some of y'all could just get these quarterbacks anyway. Like for instance, I'm like, okay, I was like the Bears, they're gonna take a quarterback. Whoever that is, most likely Caleb Williams. Cool. Washington. All right, cool. You can say they need a quarterback. All right, cool. Sure, take one. Patriots. They need a quarterback. Yes. Will they take one? Maybe not. So maybe they move down. Maybe they take a best player that they need right there. All right, cool. So then that means that after that, then the next couple of teams, like the Cardinals and the Chargers, don't need quarterbacks. So they're going to take whatever they need. Guess what? Now you're starting. Now then it's the Giants. They need a quarterback. They could take a quarterback, but now they don't have to move up because why? The board played off right. Now they could take Drake May, Jalen Daniels, whoever didn't get picked number 2. McCarthy. They wanted to. Now it's not that bad. What I'm saying is that I'm like, I get the thought of we need a quarterback, so we're going to do everything we can to try to move. I get that, but I'm also like, also if y'all didn't think like that, the draft would fall how it would be to where the stuff that you need to do to move up anyway, that quarterback wouldn't be right there. Why? Because I was like, that's sort of how it used to be back in the day with drafts anyway, was that you sort of just was sort of where you was at. And like, yes, a desperate team would do something like how the not the Chargers, the St. Louis Rams at the time moved all the way up. And Washington moved all the way up, traded in what they did in order to get Robert Griffin. Like, yes, you would have those teams, but you didn't see the rest of everybody else being a crazy aggressive, being like, oh, I got to do this to try to get a receiver. I'm going to draft a receiver in the first round. Like, think about how we was all like, Tebow getting drafted in the first round and crazy. And not just because it was Tebow, but it was like, there really was no other quarterback here. Why are you doing, at the same time? I'm like, do we really have this many first round quarterbacks? No. Is there really always this many first round quarterbacks? No. But they push themselves up in a way that I'm like, you don't have to. You could just literally probably stay somewhere, but y'all get so hyper focused on this that y'all create y'all create a market that doesn't have to be there. You don't have to do all this crazy trading for prospects that aren't, like I get when they had to do the trading to get Robert Griffin after Andrew. Like I completely understood it. But like for instance, when it was Winston and Mariota, there wasn't a lot. There wasn't no crazy like, oh snap. I mean, like, and you can say them as prospects that was the reason why. But I'm just like but I'm like, that's how I feel about most of these players here. I'm like, nobody is really, I was like, Williams, I understand. I was like, Daniels, I was like, I get. After that, and I'm somebody that I like Michael Penix a lot, but if I was a team, I'd just be like, if he gets close to us, yes, within 5 picks, sure we'll move up to take him. But other than that, no, I'm fine. Like I'm like, and especially now that I'm like, to me it would have made more sense back then when you wasn't getting this amount of prospects or of players that's like, because you see now like nowadays people are just throwing in quarterbacks now. They're you got your solid ones, and then everybody else is plugging and playing and stuff. And it seems a lot more easier just plugging and playing quarterbacks. And I'm like, back then when it really looked like it was only 3 quarterbacks, and you don't know when you were gonna get one. Nobody moved up like how they did to try to get jockey in position as much as they do now. When it's like now these dudes are pretty much around the same. Like there's really not that many special ones as much as they make it seem. So to me, that would be like, why would I mortgage so much for somebody that could run my scheme that I might be able to get later on? But I got more pressing needs on my team. But I can't do that now because I done traded all these picks over here. You get what I'm saying? Like I'm like the Raiders. If one of them dudes falls, sure, but like I said, if they get in the 5 picks, I'm willing to do it. It's just very odd that we're getting more and more evidence that the more that you get in the first round, the more likely that you're going to have to bust, and more people are doing it now than back in the day. I was like, I don't necessarily get it, but hey, I was like, I'm not able to run a team. It's just an observation. I guess I'm noticing. But anyway, who of the quarterbacks do you think isn't going to prosper? At least be good. Like I ain't talking about like that special. Like, I'm just talking about being good. Like like, oh okay, cool. They can hold the job down for good several years or whatever like that. Better than Baker Mayfield too, or those kind of quarterbacks. Something like that. Anyway, let me know how y'all feel. Until then, we'll see.